Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We're back with the day in the life content after having a week off for our CSM week where we only had one day of classes, which went pretty well overall. But I'm going to start off this week by heading to lab with one of my friends just to practice some of our skills that we've been learning over the past few weeks, just as kind of a refresher before we really get back into classes. So I'm gonna head and do that, and then I pretty much just have work today from noon until 5. So I'm going to figure out kind of my class schedule, what's going to be due this week while I'm doing that, and then hopefully get a few things checked off. We're all done with our time in lab. Now I'm just heading off to work from noon until 5. I think I'm going to start off by making my to-do list first so that I have a good idea of what I need to do for the week. One of the things that I know I need to do and will probably work on getting done today while I'm at work is the knee cases that we have for our musculoskeletal conditions. We were assigned that on the Friday before we had our break week. So I'm just going to make sure to review my slides and go through that, and then just kind of keep checking things off based on what I see on the to-do list. So I'll give you guys any updates along the way and talk to you guys later. Well, I really didn't do much after work yesterday. I just ended up relaxing the rest of the night and hanging out with my girlfriend and her sister, where we actually ended up doing a lot of review of my older concepts I haven't touched in a while, just because her sister had some questions regarding some of her back symptoms that she was having. So I ended up doing lots of manual muscle testing review and stuff like that, just to show her exactly where she's at. But other than that, class was really good today. We started off the day reviewing our knee cases in our musculoskeletal conditions class, as well as going over our examination items such as patellar mobility, things like the anterior and posterior drawer tests that help you determine whether there's an ACL or PCL injury, as well as the valgus inverum tests. So there was a lot to cover in that. And then this afternoon, we did a little bit with our medical conditions, talking about COPD, the obstructive as well as restrictive lung diseases, and really diving into that content. So I think what I'm going to do when I head to work is I'm going to start working on the neuromuscular conditions compendium, just kind of like an overall review of all the concepts we're learning, so that way we have a reference material in the future. So I think that will be the main thing I'll focus on while I'm at work, and yeah, so I'll just head over there and give you guys any updates along the way. Well, I managed to get a little bit of studying done for my medical conditions 1, exam 2, where I'm just kind of working through the study guide, but I'm going to take a quick break and have some fun with some friends just doing our weekly bachelor night. So I'm going to head over to that soon, but just to give you guys a recap of exactly what happened today. This morning, we had our medical conditions 1 class where we really started going into more and more of the constrictive and restrictive lung diseases, so COPD, pneumonia, talking a little bit about asthma and things like that as well, diving into a little bit of the pharmacology, so inhalers and things like that, and then we're moving more into the pulmonary exam next, where we're going to do a little bit of lab work, I believe later this week, if not next week. And then in the afternoon, we had our neuromuscular conditions class where we were really talking about gait with these different conditions of stroke, cerebral palsy, people with balance difficulties, talking about how high intensity gait training can really help, as well as going into a little bit on orthotics. So I'm going to head over to enjoy that time with my friends and then probably do studying later. It's been a little while since we've last spoke, but yesterday I had a good day overall. We had our musculoskeletal conditions class where we went over more information regarding the knee and the interventions for knee stability, patellar stability, strength of the knee, as well as a few other special tests that we hadn't covered yet. Then in the afternoon, we had the second half of our financial workshop, which was postponed due to the snow day a while ago, but it was good because there was some good information within there that was really helpful for after PT school. Then we had our last in-person interprofessional development class, so that was fun. Just got to work through some mini root cause analyses and things like that, so just lots of teamwork. And then later at night, I did a short study session with some of my friends regarding our neuromuscular conditions class, just kind of figuring out where we need to orient ourselves for our studying, what's important, and just kind of put together a question sheet that we could send to our professor to just kind of meet with them soon and answer some of our questions. But today, we had our medical conditions class this morning where we dove more into the pulmonary exam, starting to move into a little bit of chest therapy and things like that, which is really interesting because I've never actually kind of seen what that entails. So it was a great class overall. And then this afternoon, after lunch, which I'm on right now, we're going to go into our neuromuscular conditions lab where we're working on gait regarding individuals who have cerebral palsy or stroke or things like that, and just kind of taking those into consideration. But once that's done, for the evening, I am going to a scholarship reception. I was very lucky enough to get a merit-based scholarship when coming to school. So we're just going to that where there's all of the sponsors of the scholarships, other recipients, and just kind of hanging out and having some fun. Not exactly what it will entail for sure, but I'll make sure to video everything for you guys so that you guys can see at least a little bit into what it entails. But that's pretty much the plan for the rest of the night. I'm sure that I'll study later in the night. But yeah, I'll just keep you guys updated and see you guys later. Well, that brings us to the end of another busy week. We ended off the week today with a little bit of our accumulation of all of our knee examination and evaluation items, as well as some interventions. Today during my exit ticket, I ended up having to do the McMurray's test, which I was like kind of so-so feeling about, but then my grader actually ended up telling me that I did a really great job with it. So that was a great confidence boost to end the week on. But that's really all that I have for this week. I'm going to head to work right now just to finish off the week, finishing up those knee cases since they are due at midnight. So that's really all that I have tonight. But next week we should be continuing more and more into starting to prepare for our finals, because they are starting to come up within the next few weeks. So I want to make sure that I'm going through my review sheets, making sure I review the content related to all of the low back and hip that we've covered in the past, as well as going all the way back to stroke and cerebral palsy, and just making sure that I'm prepared, because later this semester we are having our CAPE and integrated labs, where we really start to kick in having all of these type of situations happening at once. Not necessarily what we're going to be graded on, but I just want to make sure that I'm prepared for it. So if you want to see more of that, make sure to check out the video next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe down below. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.